I love fake dating. I'm a sucker for fake dating. Who is dating this douche of a guy. You just can't see those words here because I might get demonetized. The fact that she's falling for this guy, but every day he forgets her. I really like love triangles, but they can go south real quick. Alex Astor, I'm looking at you. Hey, it's Ruby. Welcome back to my channel and to a Christmas video. I love Christmas so much, and I had big plans for this Christmas year. I wanted to do a Christmas reading vlog, and then I wanted to read all these books. I'm not gonna get to because I have to go to Texas, like an emergency visit to Texas. So our plans are changing, but it's okay. Let's go through my Christmas book collection and I will share with you the ones that I've read, my favorites, the ratings, the spice, because some of these have spice, which is new to me, but okay, we'll look at that. And then some hopefuls. I'm gonna be doing some Kindle Christmas reads because, like I said, I'll be traveling. And yeah, let's go through everything as quickly as possible. So first of all, I did do a Christmas reading vlog last year. It's a whole year, like it's crazy. I watched the end just to see what I thought about these books because the little peanut brain, I forget things, but I watched the outro of that and it's crazy how things change in a year. But what still holds true is that these two books, these first ones, 5 stars. I just love them so much and I plan to reread them every single year because I love them that much. The first one is In Holidays by Christina Lauren. I love this book. So in this we get a groundhog situation. We have kind of the time travel aspect, but it's very minimal. Like it's in the beginning of the book and then we kind of abandon it. So I don't want you to go into this thinking, ooh, it's gonna be time travel the whole time. No, just in the beginning and then we kind of abandon that. But in this we follow Maylin and she always goes to this beautiful snowy cabin in Utah with her family and another family who they've known since, like, the parents are her parents' friends and they grew up together. So she's befriended these 2 boys, which are now grown adult men, since childhood. They've been very close and she is best friends with one of them, the younger brother, but she's always been in love with the older brother, but he seemingly never has given her the time of day because she's, you know, his younger brother's little best friend. So yeah, kind of like giving little sister vibes. And yeah, nobody's ever acted on anything. But like I said, at the beginning of the book, they go and then she ends up in this groundhog situation, but things get complicated immediately because she ends up kissing that younger brother, the one that she's best friends with, and the older one sees it and she starts freaking out. She's like, oh my goodness, like she's mortified, and then it just, like, things just unravel and unfold, and I loved it. In this we do get a lot of Christmas stuff. Sometimes a Christmas book says it's a Christmas book, has Christmas on the title, and then you get no Christmas. That's not the case in this. We have snowman building, we have sledding, we have like Christmas tree stuff, baking, like we have so much in this. So I love it. It gives me all the Christmas vibes. 5 stars, and apparently, according to Last Year Me, 2 chili peppers. The way that I work chili peppers is now. Who knows what I was thinking last year, but from what I gather, yeah, 2. So 1 chili pepper for me is closed door stuff. Like you're not seeing anything. They like just tell you, right, that they hooked up or whatever, but it's closed door. You're not gonna see it. 2 chili peppers is like you're getting there, you're getting some of the bases, you're getting a little bit of action, but it's not too much. 3 chili peppers is you're actively getting the physical intimacy scenes, but they're not like super descriptive or like extra or out there. They're there, but they're like, you know, just sprinkled throughout. It's not like taking over the story. 4 chili peppers is spice. Spice, spice, spice. It's happening. You're seeing it. You're hearing it. You're imagining it. It's there in detail. And then 5 chili peppers for me is like borderline uncomfortable. Like, okay, that is too much. Or it's all spice and no plot. Which I don't think that I'll ever have 5 chili peppers because I feel like that's dark romance territory, and I don't read dark romance. So there's that. But that's like, just so that you know. That's where I'm at with that. So yeah, that's the first one, my favorite Christmas book that I've read so far. And then the other 5-star read of last year was Faking Christmas by Cindy Steele. I love this. I read it on Kindle Unlimited just on a whim. And I loved it so much that I immediately purchased the book because I was like, I need to read this every single year. It's so good. So, oh, it's actually really pretty too. So essentially in this one, we follow 2 teachers, and I think they're like middle school teachers, and they're both young. And because of that, they're kind of in a competition, at least from Olive's POV, for like the best, most popular teacher. She works so hard to be a good teacher, and he does too. He just has a different approach. She's very uptight, very by the book, while he's the fun one. And so the kids obviously are gonna gravitate towards the fun one, and she low-key resents him for it because she feels like he's probably not even a good teacher. He's just there to giggle and to flirt with all the other coworkers and stuff. And so she just really is his rival, but it's one-sided. Like, he's just not that serious about it, but she is. And in the beginning, we get like they're exchanging emails and stuff, and it's so funny. Like, it's so funny. It starts off funny. It starts off with one of them revising an email from the other and grading it, which infuriates her. And then we get 1 month later. So this starts off with them breaking for the Christmas break, right? And she's gonna go to this beautiful snowy cabin in Vermont. It's like not just a cabin, it's like a lot of cabins, kind of like resort type, but cabin life in Vermont, which I'm sure is beautiful and snowy. And yeah, she's gonna spend a whole week or something with her family. She's so looking forward to it. When she gets there, she realizes that Ethan's also there, and they enter this like fake dating thing because of how things unfold. Is pretty funny. I love fake dating. I'm a sucker for fake dating. So I really love this workplace rivals to lovers romance. And there is some just like, I don't know, there's just something about this that I really, really liked. It very much is giving me the cold, wintry vibes. There's scenes where they're doing little like winter stuff because there's a competition going on at the resort thing, and it's fun. It's funny. 5 stars for this one. I really, really like it. I don't remember the spice level, unfortunately, and I didn't vlog it, but I definitely recommend it. It used to be on Kindle Unlimited. Maybe it still is. I will try and look all these up as I'm editing. Next up in that reading vlog, 'Tis the Season for Revenge by Morgan Elizabeth. This was just like a random pick that I decided to read. And this was like my first spicy Christmas book, which was like kind of a shock to me. I wasn't expecting it, but the story is fun, but there is a lot of spice. So definitely the 4 chili pepper territory because it's very descriptive in what's going on. But essentially we follow our main character, Abby, who is dating this douche of a guy for 4 years, and she thinks that it's finally gonna happen. He's finally gonna propose because it's been 4 years, and he's saying that he's gonna make partner in his law firm at the Christmas party that he knows is gonna get announced. How does he know? I don't know, but he knows. And so, yeah, she's so excited. At the beginning of the book, he picks her up for the Halloween company party, which is a costume party. And she puts so much effort into looking cute and tasteful, but still wearing a costume. And when he picks her up, he's like, what the are you wearing? You are going to embarrass me. Like, he just goes in on her. He is the worst. And she's so sad. She's like, you're right. Like, he just steamrolls all over her. And he showed up in his suit, just like his work clothes. When they get to the Halloween party, like, you realize that it was a costume party and he's just an asshole. Which is already pissing me off just remembering. But he ends up breaking up with her. He dumps her. And she's devastated. Like, devastated. Because she really thought this guy was the one. And she kind of falls apart. After she falls apart, she gets angry, and that's where the revenge comes in. It was fun. The ending I liked. It was satisfying. So last year I also read Christmas at Fireside Cabin, which I ended up unhauling it because I gave it 2.75 stars and 1 chili pepper. It's in that reading vlog, and I just felt like the MMC was very unlikable. He was grumpy, but like I felt like he was just too much. It was just too much small town found family kind of ish, but I just didn't love it. It only had one POV also. And then All I Want for Christmas, that did have 2 POVs, and it's got a cool premise because the two characters are in this like musical competition, kind of like The Voice, and they're rivals in the competition, but then they have to do some sort of fake dating. So it's kind of like rivals to lovers. But miscommunication does enter the chat on that one, and they become very immature, especially the guy, and that kind of put me off. But I ended up giving it 3 stars and 2 chili peppers. And then the Christmas Fix, I just picked that up on Kindle Unlimited. I think that's by Lucy Score, and that's small town romance, enemies to lovers, single dad. And it was good. I think I rated it too high. I gave it 4 stars and 3 chili peppers, but I feel like it's more of a 3.5, 3.75. But like I said, it's good. It's just not enough for me to want to buy it. So those are the ones from the reading vlog. Let's get into the ones that I've read this year. I started off with A Very Merry Bromance by Lisa K. Adams, and the first half was so cringy to me. I was listening to an audiobook and I almost DNF'd it, but the second half came through. I really, really enjoyed the second half. So, keep that in mind. But in this, we follow Colton, who is this country music star, super mega star, like so popular. And he ends up hooking up with this girl, Gretchen, at the beginning of the book. She is this immigration lawyer who comes from a super rich family in Tennessee, like royalty in Tennessee, and her family sucks. They super suck. They're so materialistic and they're all about themselves. They're not caring. They're not good people. And she's an immigration lawyer. She spends her days fighting for people to not be separated from their families. So she really doesn't talk to her family much because of that. But like I said, they hook up in the beginning and then they never speak again because she kind of freaks out and just leaves. And he's left kind of devastated because he fell for her like immediately. 1 year later, our story picks up, they reconnect, and we get our story. I liked the second half of the book because it dealt more with her family issues, and I really enjoyed that part of it. So yeah, check it out. It's like I said, all of these are just like a good time, but they're not gonna be masterpieces. Then I read The Santa Suit by Mary Kay Andrews, which was super incredibly short. I think the audiobook was like 4 hours or something, like crazy short. It's even got like huge margins. And this was very Christmas, like Hallmark movie vibes to me. It was sweet, but definitely not one of my faves. She ends up finding a note tucked into a Santa suit that she finds in the house that she just moved into, and she kind of goes down the rabbit hole trying to find who wrote this, if she's still alive, if she ever saw her dad, because it's a little girl writing to Santa asking him to bring her dad home from the war. And so she just becomes very invested and the story unfolds. She does get all her answers and it's sweet. It was short, it was fun, but not a fave of mine. I feel like there is not a lot of spice or anything like that. It's just a sweet Hallmarky type story. Completely different from that, I read How My Neighbor Stole Christmas from Megan Quinn. I feel like everybody's reading this right now, and wow, this definitely has spice and it's very descriptive. There's like a candy cane scene that people were talking about that I was wondering what it is they were talking about, and boy did I find out. There's actually a picture because this book has illustrations, which I really like. I like that it has illustrations. I can show you the picture, but I cannot show you the words because they are not family friendly. So let me cover them. But I do like the pictures that are in here. They're cute. You just can't see those words here. because I might get demonetized. Here's some art from the beginning of the book. It's cute. This book, you should definitely watch The Grinch before you read this book, because if you don't, then you're probably not gonna like it. I happen to love the movie The Grinch, so that really helped me get through this one. Also, I feel like you need to listen to the audiobook. I tried to just read this on Kindle Unlimited, and I was gonna DNF it because it is cringy. It is campy and cringy. There's a narrator. There's fourth wall breaks between our MMC Cole and the narrator. And I just feel like you're not going to enjoy it unless you're listening to the audiobook, because the audiobook was really good and there was like a full cast. So yeah, keep that in mind, that I don't think you'll enjoy it otherwise. But it was pretty long. However, it went by really fast in the audiobook and I did end up liking it. There was a lot of Christmas in here because in this story, it says every Kringle in Kringletown celebrated Christmas a lot, but Cole Black on Whistler's Lane unfortunately did not. And we do have that rhymey stuff at the beginning of every chapter, but I like it. So yeah, we have Cole Black and Story Taylor are our main characters. Story ends up going to Kringle to visit her aunt because she fell and broke her hip or something, and her sister and herself go to take care of her and spend the holiday with her so she's not alone. Once she's there, the next door neighbor, Cole Black, who she grew up with because she would always go to Christmas with her aunt every single year, she sees him again and they did not leave off on good terms. She hasn't been to Kringle in 10 years because of something mortifying that happened to her and left her not wanting to go ever again. And in those 10 years, she's lived such a sad life. She really hasn't even lived a life. The only person, she actually doesn't even talk to anybody, just her ficus, Alexander, who she considers her son. She's something else, but she ends up entering the Christmas Kringle competition because her Aunt Cindy forces her. And yeah, there's a lot of holiday spirit, a lot of Christmas stuff, because this city or this town lives in perpetual Christmas year round. So read it, but keep an open mind because that's the only way you're gonna get through it and actually enjoy it. And then the one that I'm currently reading, The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ali Carter. This is my December book of the month pick. And yeah, this is described as Knives Out gets a rom-com twist in this rivals to lovers Christmas romance mystery. And I gotta say, yeah. So right now I'm on page 112, so I haven't quite finished it. In those 112 pages, we're not really getting a lot of Christmas. There's like an initial Christmas party, and then we haven't really seen any more Christmas. Now it's more in the like locked room murder mystery thing, but I'm liking it so far. I feel like if it keeps going like this, I'll probably give it 4 stars. We have no spice yet at 112 pages. Our characters are still very much rivals. They are a cozy mystery author and a thriller guy, like a thriller author, that are very well-selling established authors, and they ended up getting invited to a Christmas party at this like huge, like almost palace-like estate from their like favorite author of all time, the most famous mystery author of all time. She's written 99 books. She's writing the 100th one, and yeah, locked room murder mystery. It's been fun, but I haven't finished it, so we'll see how that goes. So now let's go through the rest of the Christmas books that I own, and I'll try and tell you something about them, but obviously I haven't read them, so I don't really know. But yeah, let's start off with the first one, The Book Club Hotel by Sarah Morgan. From what I gather, we follow a woman named Hattie who is a recently widowed lady, and she's very, very young. She used to run this hotel, really cozy, cute hotel in Vermont with her husband, Brent, but he unexpectedly dies a month before the start of this book, and she's left devastated and dealing with her grief, and yeah, dealing with the fact that she's such a young widow and has a whole life to live. She ends up having her friends Erica, Claudia, and Anna book into the hotel, and they do like this sort of book club thing, and she's just hoping that having them there is gonna help her deal with, you know, her grief and her loss. But once they're there, she realizes that they have their own emotional baggage. So I'm thinking that this is gonna be a really sweet story about grief and friendship, and I am so excited to read this. Plus, this cover is so pretty. So that is the first one. Then we have Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey, which was really popular last year. Everybody was reading it. I didn't get to it, but the top here says it's a sexy, hilarious standalone holiday rom-com about the adult children of two former rock stars who team up to convince their estranged mothers to play at a Christmas Eve concert. And I remember that people were cringing because the main characters are called Melody and Beat, like a song beat. From what I hear, a lot of people didn't like this, but I'm still gonna read it because, like I said, I'm so lenient with Christmas books that there is a chance that I will like it. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't think that I'll get to all of these this year with the traveling, but there's always next year. The next one I actually found at the thrift store, and I think this is self-published, but it's since been traditionally published and it has a whole different cover and everything. I don't know if this self-published is going to be the same as what got traditionally published, because this is like a teeny tiny book, and from what I've seen online, that one's, it looks like it's chunkier, but this is the one that I have. I think it's also available on Kindle Unlimited. So in this one we have we follow this girl who ends up looking at a window display, and she is standing next to this guy, and he asks for her opinion on the display, and she pretty much tears it down and, you know, gives him the thoughts, and it turns out that he owns a shop. So she's mortified, but she ends up getting hired to work for him, and I guess working on these window displays, and there's like a romance that ensues. I mean, it's such a little short book, but definitely a quick one that could be a good time. I don't know. Haven't really heard many people talk about this one, but when I bought it and I hauled it, there was someone that said that they really liked it. So I'm hopeful for this one. I just need to compare to see if it didn't switch from when the indie version to the like traditionally published one, so that I actually give you the real thoughts and not what she had before. I guess I'll look it up on Kindle Unlimited. Then we have The Christmas Wish by Lindsay Kelk. And this one is another Groundhog Day situation. We follow newly single lawyer Gwen. And Gwen is going through it. She not only has gotten divorced recently, her career is hanging by a thread. She decides that she's going to make the most of Christmas and go back home, I think. And once she's there, she sees the boy next door again, and he's all grown up and he's looking real good to her, and she ends up reconnecting with him, but she's experiencing this groundhog situation, and she's left with the dilemma of the fact that she's falling for this guy, but every day he forgets her. And so it says literally, how do you fall in love with someone who can't remember you from one day to the next? So it's very much giving me in the holidays vibes. So I'm excited to read this one. I think I'm going to read this one this year for sure, because like I said, it's giving me the in the holidays vibes, and that's my favorite book, Christmas book ever. So this one sounds like it might be really good. Emily Henry blurbed it. I'll read anything she writes. The queen has spoken, so shall I. Then we have a really popular one for this year, The Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmore, which is a pen name, but she has been blowing up all over TikTok, starting with the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. People love her books, and she is writing these books. I think I already saw she's got like 2 or 3 more on the docket for 2025 and on. Like, she is on it. I hear mixed stuff from the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and then the second one, the Cinnamon Store or something. This one, I bought it because it's Christmas and I love Christmas, and it had a little dog. Anytime I see a dog on a cover of a book, I'm probably gonna buy it. And I did. The top just says, a small town, spicy, festive romance. I'm not expecting much about this one. From what I hear from the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, There wasn't a whole lot of plot. So that's what I'm going to expect with this one. Just feel good times. If it gives me that, if it delivers that, it'll be a win for me. Then we have our next one, Faking Christmas by Carrie Winfrey. I picked this up on Book Outlet knowing nothing about it other than it was like a really short little book. It says Laurel Grant is playing house for the holidays, complete with a fake husband and kids in this delightful, charming rom-com by Carrie Winfrey, which when I saw that it's like not just a fake husband but fake kids, I was like, what the hell? That could be fun. It is really short, so I think that this, you know, this could be fun because what do you mean she has a whole fake family? Basically it says that she works as a social media manager for an Ohio tourism magazine and website, and she ends up hiring these people, I guess, to really make it look good. Oh, that sounds even better. It says she most definitely does not run a farm, but one tiny misunderstanding leads her boss Gilbert to think she owns her twin sister Holly's farm just outside of Columbus. Laurel only handles the social media for the farm, but she's happy to keep her little white lie going if it means not getting fired. She cannot be jobless again. So, caught in a lie. I like that. I like that. That sounds good. Everything's gonna sound good to me because I love Christmas books, but maybe something will sound good to you. And if you've read any of these that I haven't, and even if I have, just let me know what you thought down below because it will cause me to pick them up immediately. The next one I picked up solely because it had dogs on the cover. That's it. That's all I need. It says when an old rival reappears right before the holidays, a professional dog trainer must decide if the melting frost between them can make up for the rough past. I mean, again, probably just like a little cute one. I don't think this one had the best reviews, but because it had dogs, I was like, what the heck? I got it from Book Outlet. So yeah, I hope that the dogs are a big part of the story because that's why I got it. Next up, we have the holiday swap, which I feel is pretty explanatory. We have swapping stories, and I got this at the thrift store for 60 cents in great condition. I've heard a lot of people really like this, and they have compared it to The Princess Switch with Vanessa Hudgens, that Netflix movie. So I'm so excited for this one. I feel like I definitely want to read this one this year. All they want for Christmas is a different life. I like when people do that, when they swap lives, like very Freaky Friday, because they're always struggling in the beginning and then they realize that it's all they've ever wanted. So that's what I'm expecting from this one, and I'm sure it'll be a fun time. Then we have another one that I got at Book Outlet, The Christmas Cafe by Eliza Evans. And this one, we follow Sylvie West, and she is a baker. She's got a Christmas cafe in Silver Bells, Wyoming, and she ends up having to work to save her cafe. It's not doing so hot, and so she is panicking, and she decides that she's gonna get the Holiday Channel crew to come and like film a scene, and hopefully that'll like spark interest and she'll be able to save her cafe. So when the crew gets there, she kind of catches feelings for the charming lead actor Royce, but then also there's the mention of this old, gruff yet reliable friend Abe. So maybe there's a little bit of a love triangle situation going on. Like I said, I don't know because I haven't read it, but it seems like the town comes together to help her save her cafe. So I'm guessing this is gonna just give me like sweet small town vibes. And yeah, I think this one has potential, especially if there's a love triangle in there, because I really like love triangles, but they can go south real quick. Alex Astor, I'm looking at you. And the last one I have to share with you is Christmas Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. And this one, again, I found at the thrift store for 60 cents. And when I looked it up on Goodreads, apparently this is like a book in series. So I don't know if I have to read the one before. Oh, cool. There's like emails and stuff, which I really like. When, oh, there's like text messages and emails. Cool. But I don't know if I have to read the book before this. I'm gonna have to look it up because I'm not sure. But Basically, we follow Becky. She was living in the United States, but then she goes back home to I don't know where. It says to the charming village of Leatherby. I don't know where that is. I don't know if it's real. I'm assuming in a European place. So yeah, she moves back and she loves to online shop. She ends up having to host Christmas, but it's like her life's really chaotic, is from what I gather from the back. And then to make matters worse, her old boyfriend turned rock star and his pushy new girlfriend roll into town also. So she's dealing with that. So I'm guessing it's just like a chaotic time and everything's gonna come together in the end, because it always does, because you need a happy ending in your Christmas books. So I'm gonna have to look up first if I have to read the book before diving into this one, because I don't want to spoil things for myself. So yeah, that is it. Those are all the books. Let me see if I can grab them all. If I can carry them all, probably not. But we will do it for the thumbnail. There's so many of them. This is probably going to be the stupidest thumbnail ever, but I'm not going to put them down because I'm probably going to drop them all. Anyway, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. I'm so excited for Christmas. I hope that it's a good time, a fun time. Maybe I will vlog it since I'll be back home. We'll see. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon with another one. Bye.